After all, science is essentially international, and it is only through lack of the historical sense that national qualities have been attributed to it. Without doubt, these dreamers do not deserve wealth, because they do not desire it. Even so, a well-organized society should assure to such workers the efficient means of accomplishing their task. In a life freed from material care and freely consecrate. It can be easily understood that there was no place in our life for worldly relations. First principle, never to let oneself be beaten down by persons or events. There is nothing more wonderful than being a scientist. Nowhere I would rather be than in my lab, staining up my clothes and getting paid to play. It is my earnest desire that some of you should carry on this scientific work and keep for your ambition the determination to make a permanent contribution to science. Certain bodies become luminous when heated. Their luminosity disappears after some time, but the capacity of becoming luminous afresh through heat is restored to them by the action of a spark, and also by the action of radium. A great discovery does not issue from a scientist's brain ready-made, like Minerva springing fully armed from Jupiter's head. It is the fruit of an accumulation of preliminary work. We must believe that we are gifted for something, and that this thing, at whatever cost, must be attained. You'll never make me believe women were made to walk on stilts. There is no connection between my scientific work and the facts of private life. Each of us must work for his own improvement, and at the same time share a general responsibility for all humanity, our particular duty being to aid those to whom we think we can be most useful. I am among those who think that science has great beauty. A scientist in his laboratory is not only a technician, he is also a child placed before natural phenomena which impress him like a fairy tale. We should not allow it to be believed that all scientific progress can be reduced to mechanisms, machines, gearings, even though such machinery has its own beauty. I shall devote only a few lines to the expression of my belief in the importance of science. It is by this daily striving after knowledge that man has raised himself to the unique position he occupies on earth, and that his power and well-being have continually increased. It was like a new world opened to me, the world of science, which I was at last permitted to know in all liberty. It would be impossible, it would be against the scientific spirit. Physicists should always publish their researches completely. If our discovery has a commercial future, that is a circumstance from which we should not profit. If radium is to be used in the treatment of disease, it is impossible for us to take advantage of that. Life is not easy for any of us, but what of that? We must have perseverance and above all confidence in ourselves. We must believe that we are gifted in something, and that this thing, at whatever cost, must be attained. My experiments proved that the radiation of uranium compounds is an atomic property of the element of uranium. Its intensity is proportional to the quantity of uranium contained in the compound, and depends neither on conditions of chemical combination, nor on external circumstances, such as light or temperature. The radiation of thorium has an intensity of the same order as that of uranium, and is, as in the case of uranium, an atomic property of the element. It was necessary at this point to find a new term to define this new property of matter manifested by the elements of uranium and thorium. I proposed the word radioactivity, which has since become generally adopted. The radioactive elements have been called radioelements. One never notices what has been done, one can only see what remains to be done. The various reasons which we have enumerated lead us to believe that the new radioactive substance contains a new element which we propose to give the name of radium. This means that we have here an entirely separate kind of chemistry for which the current tool we use is the electrometer, not the balance, and which we might well call the chemistry of the imponderable. We cannot hope to build a better world without improving the individual. Toward this end, each of us must work for his own highest development, accepting at the same time his share of responsibility in the general life of humanity, our particular duty being to aid those to whom we think we can be most useful. When one studies strongly radioactive substances, special precautions must be taken if one wishes to be able to take delicate measurements. The various objects used in a chemical laboratory and those used in a chemical laboratory, and those which serve for experiments in physics, become radioactive in a short time and act upon photographic plates through black paper. Dust, the air of the room, and one's clothes all become radioactive. Which one do you like? Comment below. Thank you.